Okay, there we go. Oh no, where are my glasses? Chat, where the hell are my glasses? Uh, 1 second. Let me go searching for them. Okay, that was quick. Woo. Okay, let's get ourselves started. Alright, so let's on the agenda. One, I need a few more shots for Solaire. Darn it! Darn. Wait, actually, did I put these away? Or... Oh, no, they're still here. Okay, good. That makes this easier. There we go. And then his shield is up here. Where's his sword? There we go. Woo! Perfect! Hey, Xavier. Hey, Pokemon. Hey, Leviasify. Wait, Leviasify. Oh, dang. Yo. Sorry, I'm gonna just call you Levy. Hey, Nobre. Good to see ya. How you doing? By the way, I remembered that Radigan also has sound effects in his theme. You could probably guess what it would be. Let me guess, hammering. Yeah, it's hammering with sometimes shattering glass after some strikes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's cool little details like that. Neat. Okay, so where do we want to take... Okay, so just so you guys know, I'm trying to take, like, just a straight-up normal, hey, here's a shot of Solaire like this. So the question is, what's a good spot I want to do for this? I think we do it up by the nest. So let's get to free cam. And then we can do the fun stuff, which is actually some lore investigating for some additions to the Twin Princes. There's another topic, too, I think I should be investigating, but I have to double-check Discord. Yeah, something like this. I think we do it like here. Because we just need everything to work. The tower? God, my memory doesn't remember when you say tower, Nobre. Or the bridge. Nope, it's still not ringing a bell. Still not ringing a bell. Dang my goldfish memory. I cannot remember anything no matter how recent it is. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm thinking here, just like this. Yeah, I think this could work. Yeah, I think, yeah, something like this, so you get a little bit of the thing. Okay. So to make it even better, we can use the free cam to help let us get more of the leggings. So let's do that. Yes. Yes, you get the nest right behind you. Yeah, I think this works. I think this works, chat. There we go. Won't be able to. And bridge for a good shot. But what bridge am I looking for? Nobre, I gotta double check the Discord. I'm sure I'll be able to find it. Because I remember the Lothric stuff, but I'm like, someone else mentioned one other thing. And I gotta look at that. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure it's only Placidusax and Radagon that has extra sound effects in their themes. Ooh. I'm pretty sure Placky had something that you mentioned, I think, in an earlier stream, right? I can't remember. It's wind sound effects, right? That's interesting to think about, huh? I can't wait to get to these bosses and see what my impression of them is, too. Hey, Arbor, good to see ya. Adolphus, gonna eat out, as in go out of town and eat. Oh, okay, Adolphus, no problem. Thanks for dropping by just to say hi, then. Great to see ya. The Soul Feeder thing? No, it's not the Soul Feeder thing. That was for today. Wind blowing through, leaves. Ah, okay, that's what it was, Xavier, thank you. Moshi Moshi! How's it going, everyone? I think it's going okay, Arberg. I'm taking some last shots of Solaire, hopefully. Yeah, I think I'm not going to use the shots of, like, the guy in Solaire's armor, like, going to the stuff. I think the shots that I already have with, what's it called? The, just, like, sort of with the little blocks and boxes showing the individual items that are being used. I think that's good enough. So, I don't think we need anything with the Solaire stuff. So, it's like, okay, we're happy. Yeah, nothing else I want to say here. We just got a shot of Solaire, his armor, with the crow's nest. Well, it's not necessarily a crow. Probably a hawk to be. Actually, these aren't hawk feathers either, are they? Granted, they're probably just a reused asset, so I shouldn't be looking too closely at these, but these are the same, like, angel feathers we see in, like, Lothric's room and stuff, so it's like, Oh, and they have, like, a little, Oh, no, that's just a dust effect. Never mind. I was like, huh. And where's Uria's plot? No, you're not Uria. There we go. There's Uria's little cubby here. Okay, so we got her. Well, you know, they have more of a... Honestly, they have more of the castle here than I was expecting. If I'm being quite honest. Anyway. Let's go back. Woo! Hello? I love how they literally made the full model for the one that we see out in the Cemetery of Ash and the Consumed King's Garden, but they literally were just like, nope, no one's gonna see it, so we'll just put it underground. This'll work. No wind blowing through leaves of bread, Xavier. I've been quarantining and doing portfolio work all week. Got a negative test, so I'm just chilling with video games now. Some Loki. Oh, cool, Leo Arberg. Well, I'm glad you've been able to chill at least. I can imagine that whatever you got, I assume it's probably COVID or something, but whatever you got, I hope everything's. Hope it didn't stress you out too bad. Let's see. Makes me wonder if Ratigan sounds are representing the shattering. If Placidusex is supposed to be the birth of the Erd Tree, it's odd to have those sounds like there's no tree when there's no trees in his area. I actually think you're probably right, Xavier, because I think we can all agree that the idea is that the Elden Ring, the Erd Tree, or whatever theory you suppose leads to the Erd Tree, ultimately comes from the Elden Ring sort of taking root in the lands between, right? Both in a figurative and literal sense, and therefore, when it comes to the, let's see, teleport, camera position, remove, there we go. Anyway, and so therefore, when you get to the sense of, oh, the lands between now the Elden Ring, and the Elden Ring is now growing a tree around it for one reason or another, right? We could get into why the cosmology works that way, or infer about that in a separate discussion, but just as far as the idea that the Erd Tree itself, it can't just be like sort of like, oh, hey, we happened to plant a tree. It seems to definitely be a case of the Elden Ring was the seed, as it were, and the lands between was the seed bed. To be fair, I actually like the hub of Dark Souls 3. It felt cozy. I actually do too. Like, I know it's weird because I know a lot of people really don't like it, and I get why. It's not the most navigatable of all the places. It's a little too big for how empty it is, right? Like, it's basically kind of spread out and all these things, and it's kind of a bit where, like, okay, you can go in down here to get to Uria, but you can't get back up the same way, so you have to go all the way. Like, I get it, right? And Patches is, like, all the way over, like, 2 levels up back there, and like, I get it, I get it. But I always love the music for, of course, Dark Souls 3, especially in Firelink Shrine. I just love the general vibe. I definitely like the architectural design. It's probably my favorite. Majula is pretty because of, like, the seascape and all that, but the actual, like, town and area of it's kind of like, eh. Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls 1, of course, will always be iconic. But it definitely feels like, as the game gets older, it needs more and more of a facelift. Okay, so I need that shot of the Astora Straight Sword in the chest. I'm so mad, but I definitely need to get that. So, let's see. Where... I should go to Lothric Castle. Yeah, I think Dragon Barracks. Like the sound is a representation of the end of their orders. Yeah, that could be an idea. Like as the Erd tree was, as the tree part of the Elden Ring was starting to rise up, the Dragon era was coming to an end. Possibly. Again, there's a lot of stuff we've discussed a bit on Discord, trying to theorize on what exactly goes down with the dragons and stuff like that. I haven't been too deep in the discussion because again, I haven't got into that part of the game even, so I'm not really much help here. Like I said, I know a little bit about Farum Azula, but like not a lot. So anyway. What place are we screening at? We're gonna be going to Prince Lothric's chamber because we're gonna be trying to take control of him in Phase 2 and try to see if we can force some of his attacks. Because there's a lot of really good stuff there that I didn't pick up on quite when I was doing this. Like I had a very my work on like Lothric's like attacks and stuff was very basic and simple. But people on Discord highlighted to me some details that I didn't pick up on. And it's like, oh, I can actually add... Okay, please, please, please tell me this mimic will appear if I do this. Please, please. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried that I somehow destroyed the mimic already. It's like, what? Yeah, you get in the corner there, buddy. Woo! Okay, now the box gets in the way, so... I know, I'm thinking this is fair, right? Gets the mimic in the shot here. Getting a little bit of lag. Yeah, something like this looks good. Yeah, I like it. And then, Wow! That's some good wood support, I just gotta say. That's a lot of stone and trees that you're holding up there, buddies. It's not even got roots bleeding through. That's impressive. Kinda never thought about how, yeah, this is technically right underneath here, huh? Yeah, I don't think I need anything else. Oh god, I forgot. What are you kneeling at? We'll look in a second, just to make sure, because that's gonna bug me now if I don't check what that item is. Alright, here's the low to the ground version, though, again, like I've... There we go. Hey, John, good to see ya. My main change for the hub would be for the thrones to have multiple past Lords of Cinder. I've always wondered if it has been going on for much longer than just these 4. Unless it's meant to be the same 4 lords over and over again. No, there's, because, again, that's the point of the quote-unquote Age of Dark ending, Arberg. When you pick that ending, and even before you pick the ending, the Firekeeper acknowledges this stuff in advance. It's kind of like, hey, there's other Lords of Cinder that well, I guess I should say there's more people who've linked the flame and therefore have a Ember of the First Flame that have they aren't part of the Soul of Cinder. They've been separated out like Aldrich, Yorm, Ludlith, etc. Ludlith's the only one who is like not recent among the lords for this emergency system we're part of. Like it's Ludlith from like the first Firekeepers era. Then you have Yorm, who's possibly the earliest. Based on like when his kingdom and stuff, because he's about contemporary with Wolnir, so maybe about like 100 years ago, give or take. Though it might be closer to like 70s or 50s. Then you got, of course, Abyss Watchers, which is recent decades. You got Aldrich, which is recent decades. You have Prince Lothric, who obviously is recent decades, and he hasn't even actually technically linked the fire. So, yeah. So all of that tells you that, yeah. There's obviously been a lot more lords that were probably used before these individuals on those thrones, and they probably like update it for everyone except Ludleth for whatever reason every so often, and that's why there's so many other lords who are under seal. But then obviously when the First Flame's gone, that seal's probably broken or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's some contingency in that case or whatever. Anyway, point is there's gonna be other lords of Cinder who are gonna show up with their own little flame of embers, and therefore the Age of Dark is going to become that much harder to actually bring about. Anyway, that's where the other thing is, but we don't need it. Okay, yeah, we can just return to the character. Demon Souls for PS3 is very good. I'm glad to hear that, John. I would assume it would be, right? Because it's just Demon Souls Remake is just the original Demon Souls with a few quality of life stuff, and it was already a game that plays just fine. Ah, of course, of course. The person bowing in prayer is grasping a Braille holy text, of course. And doing it in front of the Lothric military banner to showcase how... Yeah, you know what? Okay, you know what, chat? I want to include this detail. God, Dark Souls 3 has so much good environmental storytelling. Like, it's so stupid. Like, how little detailed and nuanced it can be. I didn't even pay attention to this little detail, so it's like, oh my. Yeah, I think it's good. Perfect. Oh, this is so good! I'm probably gonna have to include that in Lothric Pillars, if I had to guess. Oh, what's you? What are you? I assume you're like an Ember or some shit. Considering how close we are to Mr. Pussa Mandragon. Yeah! Yeah, this is a New Game Plus thing. Hey, look, you're by the dragons who possess the Pus of Man. We'll give you a Dark Stone Plate ring +1. Have fun. What's up with this guy? This guy seems to be either a knight or a cleric or what have you. Honestly, probably a knight. Because he's bowing to the symbol of the Lothric army that the knights all, like, well, I should say most of the knights bear. And then, actually, I can't remember if their surcoat has this symbol or the Lothric flag symbol. I have to double check. And then you have, of course, holding the holy text, which has the miracles that are taught to the knights by, you know, the holy women and the priesthood and all that. So, yeah, this is cool. I really love this. God, Lothric is such a well-fleshed-out kingdom. Such a great setting. Okay, so we want to get to... We want to get to probably our good old pals, Yeah, stop it. Just casually poise a fire blast. I think I figured out how that works now. The problem is the poise is really short. I didn't realize how short the buff is. So it's just like, you do it when it's happening to you, and then you keep going for a little bit longer. And then you reapply it. Now I get it. Okay, now we can go to Twin Prince's room. Actually... Yeah, we can go to Twin Prince's room, because then we can just enter the area proper. I think the boss fight for pictures on Discord, if I recall correctly. Yes, Xavier. I was going to check the Twin Prince's room. That is the thing. But there was another thing I was supposed to check, and I can't remember what it was. I'll have to check my Discord to make sure. It might be something in Lothric. I can't remember if it's that or Archdragon Peak or what have you. So I just remember, because I remember it was two things where I was like, oh, that's interesting. I should look into that. See if that's true. Confirm it all. Try to see if I can get good shots of it, if so. Like that type of deal. All right, the bosses are dead, so we got to resurrect all our bosses first. So first off, event flags. Resurrect all bosses. Okay. All the bosses are back. Yeah, his spells. Yeah, we'll be looking at Prince Lothric's spells in Phase 2. It's kind of weird playing Demon Souls with the same menu sound effects as Dark Souls 1. Yeah, it probably is. I can imagine. It's like, wow, I remember hearing this. This feels so nostalgic in the weirdest way. The Lothric banners in Archdragon Peak. No, I already have those for my Archdragon Peak thesis. I already have all those. Yeah, I know I have those. Again, I have to double check the Discord, because I remember putting in like a tiny list when I was going through it, seeing if there's anything else I was forgetting. Let's see. So we have that. Yeah, I think I have to do this after I reset the area, so. Yeah, so let's do this. Well, I see. Uh-huh. Well, we're just gonna close Dark Souls 3 for a minute. We're just gonna stop. Well, whoopsie. Didn't expect that to happen. I guess it has problems because it has me resting at a bonfire when the boss is alive, and it's trying to trigger the cutscene at the same time, so it's just like, what the frick do I do? Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so, yeah, we're gonna reset that. While we get that all set up, let me double check. Let's see, it was under the Lore Hunters Workshop, right? We did it for Dark Souls, I think, so. Dark Souls has, Twin Princes? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna expand on that Twin Princess for sure. Oh! The Wrath of the Gods effect. That was something that, Nara mentioned, but is that what I was looking for? Great stuff to look at. Oh, checking back on the giant tree of the back. Oh, right, the back of the giant tree in Firelink Shrine, because I think someone said they think that tree might have, like, a dark sign or something on the back. So I have to double check to see if that's true. Now I remember. Okay, yeah. I should have done that while we were at Firelink Shrine, but whatever. Okay, let's hopefully this doesn't break anything. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Oh, what happens if I do this? The cutscene played, just took a while to load. Oh, I didn't see it. I wasn't seeing it playing. I just had a black screen, Nobre. I don't know how it was playing for you, but it was... certainly wasn't for me. Ow. I love how I don't have the music. Okay, you know we're doing this. I know how we're gonna handle this. First off, let's check that tree. No, wait, it's over here. Let's see. So basically the Firelink Thrones were updated with each new Lord of Sidler. Yeah, probably, Nobre. Like I said, Ludla's the only one that actually we can date to really ancient times. Everyone else dates to within the past 100 years, oftentimes within just the last few decades. Well, I guess I should say last few decades. It could be like closer to like the 50-year mark, but you get the idea. The point is that these are very recent figures. Oh, I see. This is what, so this is what was talked about. The idea of like, oh. No, this is not a dark sign. You want to know how I know that? Because it's on the wrong side of the back. The dark sign is on the left side of the back, because the idea with the dark sign and the heart roots that you see in Hollows in Dark Souls 1 and 3, the dark sign in 2, of course, is being a giant hole, a black dark hole, like the Dark Sigil, with like a swirly vortex look to it, in Dark Souls 2. But the idea is that, of course, it comes from the left side on both the front or the back, because that's where the heart is, which is where the concentration of the soul is, right? That's why, like, when you hollow, the phrase used in the Japanese is to quote unquote lose heart, your kokoro, which doesn't necessarily refer to your physical heart, but of course, like, your emotional heart in that sense, like your will, your feelings, your personality, your mind, your soul, spirit, etc. Like, you know, that kind of quote unquote heart. But there's that idea, of course, that it does parallel with, of course, your where your physical heart is, right? Another presumed large concentration of the soul is in the brain. Though again, Dark Souls doesn't really focus on that compared to the actual heart area, which kind of makes sense, right? Brain gets more focused in stuff like Bloodborne because there's a lot more talk about mentality and spirituality and things in that regard. Anyway, okay, so I see what people were talking about, but yeah, this is 100% not the dark sign. For sure. Whatever you interpret that as, that we can definitely say is not the case. It's just not on the right side of the body. Okay, moving on. Let's go to Grand Archives, and then we'll handle things that way. Does a tree man have a heart? That's a good question, John. They probably have it. They have souls, so there is a concentration somewhere. And because they have a humanoid shape, it's possible they have something approximating a heart area. But whether it's the exact way as it is for, like, say, us humans and other humanoid characters in the series, that cannot say. Maybe Ludless was not updated because he could transpose weapons. Yeah, no, Bray, that's a good explanation. But the problem is that Ludless didn't have a transposing kiln at the time, right? So it's like, oh, hey, we could have, when the emergency system happens, you can help transpose weapons. And Ludless would be like, oh, so you're going to give me a new transposing kiln to use. And they're like, we'll get back to you that, like, in, like, several thousand years. Yeah, so I don't know if that would be the reason, but I think that'd be a good idea. Or at the very least, it's possible that his Oh, you know what? It might not be necessarily transposing, but just his general expertise. Because, again, as I argue in my analysis, he'd be the person that was generally the architect helping set up Lothric's emergency system and all that, with untended graves and all of that going for it. So it's quite possible that, hey, if we're in this emergency scenario, we'd want to have the expert who helped make this stuff anyway, in case there's some other problems that need fixing or whatever. Yeah, I could totally see that happening. And then all the other Lords of Cinder, it's like, hey, it doesn't matter as long as we have a Lord. So maybe the idea is like, okay, we'll just swap out the thrones of who's going to be woken up first based on, like, the more recent Lords that are chosen or whatever. Anyway, that's, thanks, that's a cool little thought exercise. God, I'll be honest, I created that Discord server specifically for you guys who like to talk about lore, but were always asking me, hey, Loki, do you know of a good place to talk lore? Oh no. I gotta add my game here because I forgot! Select a process to open. Dark Souls 3, open. There we go. Keep the current key, yes. Sure. Okay. Let's see if this works now. I forgot because I closed it. The cheat engine needs a new thing. But anyway, I set up the Discord server specifically for all the people who are asking, like, hey, I want to talk lore. Do you know any good place that can talk lore and, like, doing so? Because apparently you guys can't find serious people talking serious lore discussions or whatever that feels like it's actually, like, I don't know, like, hard-hitting analysis or whatever. And apparently you come to me thinking I'm the person who would know or whatever. It's like, well, I'm so busy writing the hard-hitting analysis, I don't know of any communities or anything, so I can help you there. But if you people are struggling so hard to find it, I said, you know what, and you're coming to me, may as well make it myself. So that's what I did. But I'll be honest, I'm actually learning stuff myself from you guys. So it's like, that's really cool. I really like it. It's actually benefiting me in my analysis because I can start pooling and hearing your guys' thoughts on different theories, on stuff like that, and actually be like, oh, hey, and, like, we can learn this and that and all that. I'm really impressed with how this has turned out. This has turned out a lot better than I was expecting. We don't need the free cam now. Let's see. Where is my hero stuff? Let's see. Lothric said. Okay, so let's see. You guys are asking questions too. Let me quickly go through that before I get to this. It began to play when you closed Dark Souls 3. Is that so? No, Bray. I just didn't see it. It was all black screen the whole time, even when I was hitting the close, so. I didn't see it whatsoever. So was his brother crippled by the curse when they came back, or have they not linked the fire yet? They haven't linked the fire. I know it's confusing because when you kill like Lothric and Lorien, despite the fact that they all talk about, yo, I don't want to be, I'm not a king, I don't want to link it. Everyone's like, hey, tell Lorien and Lothric to link the fire. You kill them, and it's like, oh, he's Lord of Cinder slain or whatever, and you get like kindling of a king and all that. But no, that's it's not actually, they're not actually Lords of Cinder. Lore is pretty consistent on that guard, except for that part. For whatever reason, they decided they would use the same boss thing, because I guess they're like the major like bosses you need to kill, as the other quote-unquote Lords of Cinder, the Kings of Kindling. Yeah. But yeah, they are not, so no worries there. Maybe blah, 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 blah. So you go, following from my question above, is Koth the scholar that pushes Lothric away from the Kindling Flame? No, it's Aldia. Yeah, it's Aldia. But we already kill Aldia, right? And there are serpent statues do so. Aldia doesn't, well, Aldia only, you only quote-unquote kill Aldia if you do Aldia's ending, which, again, canonically it seems like the Chosen Undead and Bearer of the Curse just do the Link the Fire ending. So that's like a separate thing, but like, even if you quote-unquote kill Aldia, when we see like Aldia die, he's still talking to us and discussing with us after quote-unquote death, so you can argue he never really dies. I mean, we technically just kill a tree avatar. He's part of the, in some respects, he's like an extension of the First Flame in some way, so it's hard to even say if he can truly die. So I mean, we don't get a soul from him or anything, at least, I think, in Dark Souls 2, so I don't think he's, it's a case where it's like, oh yeah, this looks like he's actually pretty dead. Anyway, yeah, okay, nobody's going through some of that stuff, yeah. Like, the reason why I say Aldia, by the way, Arberg, is because, we get Aldia's spell related to the First Scholar. First off, the First Scholar has to be a character who lives quite a long time, because, obviously, it's the idea that they're the first scholar of Lothric, and Lothric's a kingdom which has been around for, at minimum, hundreds of years, if not thousands. So, that's already a problem. So the scholar has to be someone who's not an ordinary human in a kingdom of ordinary humans. We can't say he's undead, because we know that undead in this human kingdom, like you would expect in a human kingdom, get exiled, banished, and sent off to the undead settlement because, hey, we don't want you living in our human kingdom, becoming a hollow, and possibly causing a giant hollow zombie apocalypse here, right? So it can't be undead or anything like that. So it has to be someone who is, someone who's a wise man, who can live for a very long time, would be around at the time that Lothric was being established. And again, keep in mind when Lothric was established as a kingdom, because the setting from Dark Souls 2 drifted with the First Flame to, Lothric's part of the world, right? North of Lordran, south of Drangleic, basically, is the general locale. And then, as we learned from the First Scholar, it has the, what's it called in Dark Souls 3? Soul Stream? And I think in Dark Souls 2 it's called Soul Geyser, but it's the same spell. It's like a soul torrent, or that type of idea, right? And the differences between the two spells technically can be accounted for the fact that, obviously, when the Grand Archives are being established, they have to be established as like a pious place, because of, because all those little dark aspects, like the pursuing nature of Soul Geyser, that can't happen in Soul Stream, or else that might raise some eyebrows with the powers that be in the High Priestesses and the Priesthood and Lothric and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, Aldia strips anything that could make him unpalatable to this holy kingdom which is being established, and he basically inserts himself to be the leader of its new Grand Archives, which also gathers some of like collection and things like that and all that. And that's how we get to basically Aldia biding his time until he sees an opportunity. He's like, ooh, I can tell this very impressionable prince who's been terribly abused and use him in order to advance my my ideals. Great job, Aldia. Okay, awesome. Thanks for the answer. I always get confused on whether Lothric, etc. were I assume you mean were rezzed. So how does Lorien get cursed then? He gets okay, so the idea with Lorien's curse is that Lothric is a failure to become Lord of Cinder, and Oseros at this point is very desperate because he was kind of hoping, hey, you know what, the baby's kind of frail and sickly, but I'm sure it's just a phase, it'll pass, he'll get better. Spoiler alert, he never got better. But Oseros already kind of invested so much in Lothric being the successor, right? We see with the propaganda of, like, the adult prince, like, dressed with, like, some of Sully's stuff and stuff, you know, these holy garb and holy weapons representing fire and stuff like that, being like, oh, yeah, he's gonna be the next Lord of Cinder, right? So Oseros is already kind of invested, like, very publicly about how Lothric's gonna be the holy king of, like, see the throne, right? It's already kind of been like, hey, holy king of Lothric, the latest or the future of the lineage for the Lords of Cinder and all that, right? Like, everything was putting all your stocks into Lothric, and it wasn't working out. So desperate, he takes his heir, Lorien, and he's like, okay, I'm going to have use some bonding magic, probably from the scholars from their Seath research, because again, Seath was looking into that type of stuff, to try to bond the soul of Lorien to Lothric, and basically have it where Lorien can basically kind of like combine essentially with Lothric, or at least very least the idea is that they kind of empower Lothric in a way to be like his make him be able to actually, you know, fight the Soul of Cinder, link the fire and all that himself. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. As we can see, all it does is make Lorien's soul bond to Lothric and leave his body, and Lorien, whose soul is still bonded to his old body, kind of becomes a zombie, right? Like, his skin goes pale, his hair turns white, he loses access to, like, the lower end of his legs, right? Almost like an Olbenorc, you could say, right? Like how the Olbenorc's legs are disappearing. Like, they're kind of like, hey, we're disappearing from the feet up. Kind of same thing with Lorien. And then, if I recall correctly, there's actually a Japanese superstition that relates to that, but I have to double check that. It's been a while since I've looked that up. And then, of course, he loses access to his voice, too, right? So he can't properly speak. So, like, yeah, that's what happens to Lorien. He basically, again, just think about it, like, you're literally getting your soul sucked out to you, but it's not completely severed from you. So Lorien ends up kind of like a quasi-zombie-like state. Alrighty, let's, while I continue doing this. Yeah, the JP for DS2, Soul Geyser, Soul Stream, yeah. Yeah, it's, the term means, like, a soul torrent, basically. And again, you can translate as, like, geyser, stream. Both are okay. There's no, like, I don't think there's anything, like, too off about either of those translations. It's just that the localization wasn't consistent between the two games. Which is very kind of important, because, like, it's, you know, it's the major hint on, I think it's the only place that the first scholar is actually mentioned in item descriptions, and it's kind of the most important thing. So it's like, didn't you tell someone that today you might do the Dark Souls 1 lore through? Yes, I'm so mad I didn't get to do it today. Oh my god, you would not believe how pissed I am about that, Xavier. This morning, so, you know, yesterday I was talking about the PS4 cord and all that? No, well, while I was talking about that, the PS4 cord this morning, I saw the electric tape was falling apart, and the cords were getting exposed and all that. I was like, fine, I bite the bullet, I'll buy a new cord, right? Like, no one say I didn't do my due diligence, try to help the environment, recycle, you know, not waste stuff or whatever, blah, 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 you know the drill. I did everything I could to try to use that old cord without having to buy a new one, but it just didn't work. It's just, it's clearly just not in the cards. So instead, I had to go and buy that. On top of that, something else happened, which required me to be gone for most of the day on this fine Saturday. So it's like, well, I guess no lore play today, so it's going to have to be tomorrow. Let's see. Paramods. No, that's cheats. NPC menus. Where? I think it was under... No, it's not param. It's under functions. That's what it is. That's for NPC control. So we are going to use that, but that's not what I want. Character flags. Here we go. We're going to... we'll make the character invisible last, so... No hit, no attack, no move, no update, disable gravity, no damage. Yeah, that's the first thing we do. So we make no damage, no stamina consumption, no MP consumption, invulnerability, sure. Iframes, parried, event super armor. Alright, and then... Yeah, we won't turn our character invisible until we need to get to phase 2. Alright, so we force Lorien into phase 2 with Lothric. I actually need to make my life easier. There we go. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, now I shall work on NPC spawn and control, NPC control, targeted character. Oh, wait, I'm not targeting, though. You broke my target! You meanie. Switch control player. Oh. I think it worked. Yeah! Yeah! My man, using those knees. Even without function of his legs. Lorien never skipped leg day. Let's see. I always thought it was interesting that Lorien loses his use of his legs, because in Kabuki, legs are often tied or unusable as a way to show undead or ghost care. I actually didn't know that about Kabuki theater. I'm not too familiar with Kabuki, so that's really cool to know. This has been a lore play so far, at least a lore stream. I suppose that's true in some ways. I guess you guys are learning lore here, but like, yeah, it's not my dedicated Dark Souls 1 lore play, which again, I so want to return to that. Yeah, doesn't work, huh? Oh, you're kidding me. That's... Alright. Darn. Actually, that might be something worth looking... No. 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 Oh my god, you are... You are insufferable. I hate how the camera does this shit. There we go. Oh my god, I'm not God, I hate the tank controls. I really do. Yeah. So the best he can do is very briefly stuck on the end of his leg, almost like it's a peg leg. Boom. Okay, looks like we don't have enough. Let me try with let me try if I use my my keyboard. Nope. I can move. Yeah, nothing else is working. I don't know if, let me see, if I unplug the controller, will that change things? Oh. No? No? Nope, doesn't work. It's... God, this is so confusing. So we can't force Lorien and Lothric... Well, we can't force the Lothric end of Lorien to do his shtick, which is kind of annoying for me. Yeah. Can you control Lothric? Oh, that's right, because they're technically... That's probably why, because they're technically separate characters, huh? Okay, let's try something. I'm going to change myself. Well, it's weird, though, because if they're separate characters, why is it that Lothric isn't attacking me still while I'm controlling Lorien? God, this is so confusing how this all works, but let's try that. Let's change my team type. Statistics. Let's change my team type to boss. No, I think I need to be hollow, because I need to be able to target them, right? And I don't think I can target them if I'm a boss. Well, let's try it at least. Oh, whoopsie. Minimize the wrong thing. Alright, let's try first. Going to team type 7 with boss. Okay, bosses, giants, big lizards, all that. And then we do, let's return my control. See if that disables the AI at least, so that way I can freely move. Return control player. There we go. Yep, okay, that disables him. Oh, nope, it doesn't. Yeah, it just disables my ability to lock on. So, okay, we need to figure out how we can lock on to Lothric, and then do that for the switch. Okay. Switching back my team type. There we go. Alright, yeah, we want to do targeted character as soon as we Let's try this. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's do that quickly. Targeted character, switch control player. Nope, it just automatically goes straight back to Lothric even when I do that. Dang it. Darn. Alright. Hello? And let's try that again. Nope. Gosh, this is... Either I'm not doing this fast enough, or... Try L2 or L1. L2 or L1 does this. Yeah, so... It's the teleport slam and the side slash. Oh, I never noticed that Lothric blesses the blade in the energy wave attack. Does he? I have to look closely now. Also, hey, Platypus. Maybe when Lorien is hit, Lothric acts up. Love how dramatic the music is for him standing still. Yeah. That's definitely true. Okay, let's see. Alright. I can lock on! I can lock on to myself. Oh, that's funny. Alright, return control player. Alright, again, be ready, we gotta switch. Nope, it automatically switches me to Lorien as soon as, even though I'm locked on to Lothric, so they're always considered one, but I only have access to Lorien's attacks for whatever reason. I can't force Lothric's attacks on his back, which I'm like, that sucks. Well, crud, yeah. Let's try switch control player, return to control player. There we go. That's the attack. So, okay, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to put my character in the center, so he's in the center of everything. We're going to make him invisible, so he doesn't get in the way of any shots. Right? Like, that's nothing's going to happen to him here. So let's go to... Where is it? Oh, we don't care about functions anymore, so we'll turn that... We're just going to free cam it and try to get some good shots of Lorien and Lothric while they're just randomly attacking nothing. Hero, character flags, set enable that to 0. Okay, there we go. Yep, that does it. Perfect. Then we go to free cam. Now again, this is going to be a little more difficult to do, because we obviously can't control the wild and crazy nature that is Lorien and Lothric's boss fight. Yeah, oh, that was a... Damn it! That was the perfect shot to get that stupid crystal beam. Crap. Alright, I guess we gotta wait. Come on. Nope. That's not the attack. Accidentally making the fight lag. Come on! Teleport away! There we go. Oh, it's, oh! Dang it! I almost had the shot! There we go. That might work. We almost had the shot of the frickin' crystal spear. So let's wait a little longer. Done. I'm making it lag so bad with all my screenshots. Woo. Whatever. No one cares. He likes teleporting to that corner though a lot, so that might be a consistent way for us to get a shot. Gotta sleep, bud. No problem, Arbird. You sleep well. Have fun. Take care, everyone. Yeah, see ya. Great having you here. I don't think that was quite the shot I wanted, but... Okay, yeah, but we're consistently getting him to appear here when he does his thing, so I think this is the chance we get. So let's try to get the Crystal Spear attack from, like, here. Just waiting. Yeah, it's so consistent that I think we can actually force this. Like, let's take a little bit like this now. Don't mind me, I'm just getting murdered off screen. Alright, I think that's all of Lothric's magic attacks, except for his Wrath of the Gods one, which is going to be really hard to get with free cam, so I think we try to do that manually. 1 second. Let's look at the shots I already got in my... Oh boy. Alright, that's a lot. Alright, let's go through these in a sec. I think we can free cam behind where Lothric would spawn and try to get a close-up of him buffing his brother's sword for that big attack. Yeah, those are definitely, that's definitely crystals. We're not getting a good shot of the Crystal Spear, though. Yeah, so I think we should do more close-ups and stuff when he warps here. It's like, here. Come on. Come on, you can do it. No. That's not what I wanted. Let me X this out so I can... Oh! Oh no. No, that's not gonna work. There we go. Let's try it from this angle. This is gonna be the rest of the stream, everybody. Ooh, I think that was a good one. I mean, if they're just gonna stand there. Let me double check this. I actually think that was the money maker. Yep, I think that's the one. Yep, I liked it. That one gets a good full shot, and we can get the other one as an angle one for the close-up on the crystal part. Yeah, I like it. So let's try to get a few more from this angle. that's not gonna work. Okay. The orbs have a weird red exhaust. Well, it's more like a yellow exhaust, but yeah, they have a tail to them that's a bit more yellowish, which makes sense because sunlight magic. Now they're just doing that. Okay, we're not getting any with Lorien doing with Lothric, I should say, doing the big orb spam. So. Since Lothric is considered in-game as a lord, but he hasn't linked the fire, is he an honorary Lord of Cinder then? Yeah, basically. It seems like the firepower we use comes from his brother having slain the Demon Prince and stuff like that, and the fact that both their souls combined have a lot of soul power, right? Because the idea is that the more powerful and stronger souls become, the more fire-like they are. Obviously, we see, you know, you get like regular souls, and they start having a bit of a yellow aura when they become boss souls, and then when they finally get to Lord Soul level, they get a red aura because now they look like flames, right? So. Oh, are you warping over here now, buddy? Alright, tell me, where am I supposed to go? Where do I need to put the camera? I need you to be consistent, Lothric Lorien, please. Wait. My character's still getting hit here. Yeah, that's not a good one. You want, maybe up here. Like I said, I want to get a close-up shot from behind, like where that chair is, basically, of Lothric buffing his bro sword, because that would be a good one. Yeah. Yeah, if we got that shot from, like, here, I think that would have been good. So let's see if we can make that happen. Hey, Night Scout. Nope. Doesn't do it. Darn. It's like darn. Didn't do what I wanted. Oh? Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we can do it like, I think here. You probably already said this in response to Babuino, but how is Lothric throwing the fire buff when he specifically didn't become a Lord of Cinder? Or do you mean as in the... do you mean the Embered look? That's because Lorien slayed the Demon Prince. That's for his sword and stuff. Oh, I thought it was like, did he teleport to here? Was he made a cinder but then asked to burn Gwynstyle? No. The game makes it consistently clear from his diet. Like, Lothric says it. Item descriptions say it. Obviously, Emma tells... Everyone tells us how, please, make him a freaking lord. He refuses to become a lord. He doesn't want to do it. Like, so yeah. Lothric has never left his goddamn room. That's kind of the point. That's been the problem. Can you please do your special attacks in this corner? Is his, it's his sword, Sharper the Demon Prince. Yeah, that's the entire point. It's like, oh no. Okay, yeah, we want to do this more close up, though, so something like, I think this will do it. Alright, so now we wait. No, I mean Lothric, not Lorien, from killing the Demon Prince. I assume you then refer to being like his cinders and stuff like that. The idea would have to be from bonding with his brother's soul, because if I recall correctly, it's in that description that they mentioned about being the qualifier and the curse being done for it. So yeah, that would be the explanation. If the point is like I was actually just saying this before I think you got in here, Night Scout, how we see it with souls, how the more strong and powerful souls are, the more fire-like they are. And that's the point of, like, our bosses, right? Why do we get embers from bosses? Why do we get embered form from bosses? Because they're souls, they're powerful souls, they're souls that are more fire-like, they're warm souls, therefore that power of fire we absorb when we defeat the bosses and take their souls and all that, and that's what keeps us as ashes warm and all that. So, same concept sort of being applied here. Does this mean that theoretically you could, you just need a really strong enemy? It doesn't have to be a Lord of Cinder for the emergency system ritual? Yeah, And who knows, that might have been how it was planned to work. We don't know because, unfortunately, the entire emergency system seems to only function, thankfully, because the Lords of Cinders decided to leave, so... We'll never know what the original plan was. So he just has Consumous Cinders that look like, say, Yorms, but aren't Lord of Cinder ones? Yeah, that seems to be the idea. They're kindlings of a king because they are worthy of a king, essentially. Because again, like Dark Souls 2 goes through the point is, the king, of course, refers to one who has the power to affect the world, blah, 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 right? Again, Lorien and Lothric have that power, it's just that they're not, again, you can't really have Lothric or Lorien going fighting the Soul of Cinder, but basically both cripples. And everyone in this era is just so weak now that the fire as their souls basically goes through their pitiful Apocalypse era flesh. Yep. I suppose you could say, something to that effect. Go on. Come on. Again, the point is that you got these two individuals cursed, working together, helping out and all that. Come on. There. Oh. That might work. Okay, I think I've taken enough shots of everything, so I'm going to just check what I'm looking at. I'm now curious, because I could have swore Lorien does this charge up holy attack in phase 1, and now I have to double check to see if that's not Lothric doing it from his bed or some shit. Ooh! Oh, yeah! We've got, like, super really good shot of, like, Lorien giving, Lothric giving the Lorien, but I keep mixing these two up. I'm so sorry. But, like, woo! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with most of these shots. Let's try to get the Lorien reviving his bro. Yeah, now it's Wrath of the Gods. Exactly, Xavier. Now we gotta try that. So what we want to do... One, I don't think I need to make my character visible, though it might make things easier for me. I think Lorien's health bar is small enough that it's not going to matter if I don't free cam it. Because what we want to do... I like how you can see the freaking aura around me when I get blasted. Alright, I'm trying not to hit your bro, Lorien, so please keep him out. Oh. That's not good enough. I need to be farther back. I didn't see any sword buff when he was doing that effect, though. Did I miss something, or... Hello? Alright. Alright. I think I did everything I could there. Let me just double check. Ostros would rather sacrifice Lorien's skills and health to collide with Lothric's curse than to face the truth that they just have Lorien burn. Yep, Night Scout, that's basically it. It's like, hey guys, I was wrong. I know I propagandized to everyone in public how Lothric would be the person, but you know what? I'm instead gonna make Lothric my heir and successor, because he could just, you know, be king from his bed or some shit, and then I'll make Lorien go out and link the fire himself, because, you know, he seems pretty good. He's trained his whole life as a knight. He defeated the Demon Prince. I think he can do it. That's all he needs to do. But Osiros is such a... He's just an asshole. He's such a paranoid asshole that he's just like, no, I can't face the fact that it would be humiliating if I acknowledge that our family failed again with the Lord of Cinderstick. Do you have the shot of Lorien briefly standing on his feet with his beam blade in phase 1? No, I don't, and I want to do that, and I'm gonna reset the fight for that, so... You can see Lorien's hands go up to the sword, blessing it before the wave. The hands do get kind of covered by the white holy. Oh, is that what we're talking about, Platy? Is when he's doing the sword buff? Yeah, I got shots of that, so that's good. I thought people were talking about when he was doing the prayer to his dead bro, it somehow buffs the sword or something. But I must have misread that. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we want to do more phase one of these guys. So let me just double check, make sure the shots of Wrath of the Gods is good. Yeah, he's using all that holy power to try to keep it going, yep. Woo! Yeah, I want one more shot of them slightly more farther away, but other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So let's try this one last time, and then we're done. We'll be going back to phase 1 and see how that works out. No, give me to the front. I don't want to kill your bro. I don't want to have to resurrect you. There we go. Come on. No, they're both dead! No! No! Ah! At least the Ember... No, the Ember effect still... Okay, guys. Time to get myself killed. Let's go to the Shrine Bonfire and then Lorien. I'm so unhappy. Loki, where do you think was Osaros in the Prince's Arena or in his boss room? I think it's nowhere. Because Miyazaki didn't care about giving Osaros a throne room. He was focused on other stuff when it came to making Lothric Castle. Yeah, this is the problem. Areas, rooms, places in Dark Souls games are only as detailed as the devs want them to be. They are hardly what you'd call realistic. As I like to describe them, they are clown cars. You'll have them fit all this crap, but not in necessarily a logical or coherent way. It'll be like, hey, I want to showcase this for the lore. I want to showcase this for the lore. Oh, we ran out of space. That's fine. This is all the stuff I care for the story. I just never get to see that because I'm normally running like a chicken with a head cut off at that point. Yeah, same thing. I didn't know about it. I'm knowing about this stuff now. Like, this is actually cool. Like I said, I didn't pay too much, again, I didn't pay too much attention when I was working on Twin Prince. I was like, okay, white magic, does it give out feathers? Nope, okay, good. Generally offensive, okay, kind of study under sorcerers, so that could make sense if you take holy magic and do that, and I kind of left it at that. But now I'm looking at some of the smaller details, I'm like, ooh, I can expand on this. I can talk about how it's clearly now that the attack isn't just kind of like Crystal Soul Spear. It's basically is Crystal Soul Spear. There's crystallization being applied to that holy magic that Lothric's shooting. Or like, hey, Lothric's actually buffing Lorien's sword, which makes me wonder, okay, what's happening with Lorien's sword in phase 1? Are we to believe that that is Lothric as well? If so, is there an animation of Lothric in his bed doing it while we're fighting Lorien? I gotta see this. Like, there's a lot of stuff now that I'm like, I gotta see, I gotta try. There's more to investigate. True, if the throne was in the Prince Arena, Lorien could have destroyed it. The thing is that the throne is clearly just the bedroom. Like, it's got the giant bed for Lothric, and that seems to be all it serves as a tower. The way that's set up in relation to the Grand Archives kind of gives you, again, hey, let's go visit the prince while he's studying. Okay, so instead of taking the lift over on that side of the bridge, we cross the bridge, and instead of going into the Grand Archives proper, we take the shortcut up to the bridge, the prince's study chamber. And the prince has his own bridge that takes him from the study chamber to the Grand Archives for his private tutoring and all that, all the way to his bed chamber again, right? And then it makes you wonder, okay, where's Gertrude's bedroom? Where's Lorien's bedroom? Where's the queen's bedroom? Again, this is the type of stuff where it's like, you start, again, the more you think about this stuff, the more you're like, okay, yeah, this castle, as much as it has all this cool stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that makes sense, there's a lot of stuff where you're like, oh, it doesn't make sense. And that's fine. It's a game. You just kind of work with what you got. And you kind of accept that, you know, Elder Scrolls, there are no toilets. Right? You go through Skyrim, there are no toilets. So it's like, you just kind of accept this stuff. Not everything has to be 100% realistic, as long as you generally get the idea and understand what the developers are trying to convey. Especially Dark Souls games, where Miyazaki's basically, he tells his people, make a bunch of maps, he tells these people, make a bunch of, or they make, like, they come up with concepts when they hear him talk, and they make it their own enemies or something, and Miyazaki's like, ooh, I have all these toys and resources, and now I get to just basically play in this little sandbox and try to, oh, I put this stuff, I put these enemies here, I put these bosses here, and these enemies here, oh, I can mix this up, and I can do that, and all he has to do is change a few text, and maybe some record some new lines of dialogue, and he basically can change up his narrative however he wants. So, like, again, this is the beauty of Dark Souls is minimalistic storytelling. Oseros probably read his thrown to smithereen ages ago anyway. Ree! Why won't you be Lord of Cinder? Ree! Probably well before he finished mutating to a freaky Seath with mushrooms on his back. Oh, yeah. I just want to imagine, like, he roars one day and his entire throne, like, just explodes into, like, splinters. Where's Gwendolyn's sock drawer? Exactly, John! We need the important things. Where is his snake socks? I demand to see cute little snake socks. Just imagine all the little sock puppets he could play with Yorshka doing that. And immortal children. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see, am I still immortal? I don't think so, so let's try to get myself killed, so that way, in case I have to take a shot with the character invisible, we don't have to worry about my embered self ruining anything. Can you kill me? Am I murderable? Yes, I am, okay. Go on. You can do it, bud. I swear I should have just fallen into the hole when I called up the lift. There we go. Finally! You call yourselves the kingdom's elite? You can't protect anything. Maybe their rooms were in the other structures, the surrounding grid, which can be seen from the high wall. The problem is we go to most of those structures, and a lot of those structures don't have room to fit anything. Again, like, just take the Prince's Tower. There's a little tower bit that hangs off that has, like, a little window and stuff, but the tower is way too small to really fit anything of consequence. And there's no way to actually get to it from the prince's chamber. So again, it's just, it's okay. It's okay to just be like, okay, yeah, this is just there for looks. You can kind of get the general idea that this castle is probably bigger and more fuller, and there's probably more stuff that we don't get to look at. There's probably, like, parts of the back end of the castle or whatever where other stuff would be, and we just don't have the doorways or whatever in order to get to it. It's okay to just, like, leave it at that. Because, like, the devs probably didn't think that far ahead anyway. Regarding Lorien and Lothric, did Lorien's sacrifice make Lothric any stronger, or did it literally do nothing other than ruin Lorien? Yeah, it seems to be the latter, Night Scout. The idea seems to have been, okay, have have it where they bond, like the brothers bond, right? And it would, like, theoretically empower Lothric. What ended up happening is that Lorien's soul gets, as we see, drawn and bonded close to Lothric's soul without really affecting Lothric's soul that much. Like we said, it gave him the power to be a Lord of Cinder. He has the Embered effect, as you pointed out, and stuff like that. Like, he has enough firepower to maybe be worthy of becoming a Lord of Cinder if he were to link the flame. But he's still a crippled, sickly boy who's not going to be able to actually, fight for himself that well. And Lorien ends up, because his soul gets dragged out, but is still bonded to his body, he's not dead, but his body basically becomes zombified. He doesn't really have access to his ankles and shit. He doesn't able to speak with his voice. His hair turns white. His skin turns deathly pale, like as if all the blood is drained from it. So, like, yeah, you can kind of tell. Oseros just ruined both his sons. That's why he ends up kind of... Ironically, this doesn't make him be like, hey, scholars, you kind of told me this might be a good idea, it didn't work. It made him be like, okay, I need to embrace the crazy cult shit in the Grand Archives even more. Because they tell me that if I become Seath Dragon thing, then I can be able to have a proper child, because then, Dragon plus Guinevere being Gwyn's descendant and all that, that'll give me the proper heir, and I don't have to worry about any of this shit. So then calls up Sullivan, and you know the rest. Gonna send some of my scholars over. They have a good idea. They'll give you some Seath soul. Please, make use of it. Okay, so it did do something for Lothric, just very little, barely enough, and Lorien still lost a word. Yeah, it's a net negative overall. Like, for what Oseros is trying to do for this whole fancy ritual thing, and again, like I said, all this had to do was let Lorien do stuff, but Oseros can't accept the humiliation of admitting that his family has fucked up with the fire linking again. Because keep in mind, all of this goes back to like Gundyr and stuff, and the whole idea with Gundyr not becoming a proper Lord of Cinder and all that, which I have theorized has to deal with Gwyndolin trying to assert control and all that stuff, but that's a separate discussion, right? The point is that Oseros here is someone who's extremely pious. He's really obsessed with the beak of trying to right his family's dishonor with the Lords of Cinder, right? Why are we just trying to, you know, shepherd other people to be Lords of Cinder? We can create our own and all, right? And that basically becomes his life's obsession. And as we can see, that obsession, well, does more harm than good. Let's move here. Dang it. We have to... I know what we gotta do. We gotta revive Lothric and Lorien again. I forgot to do that. Where's event flags? Resurrect all bosses. There we go. And then let's do the thing again. Oh, is it not, right, I have to reset the area, so we'll rest in that bonfire and do that. And then, place all Lords of Cinder, unlock all bonfires. No, we have all that. Super, it doesn't matter if I do the super armor and stuff, because it's gonna reset when I go to this area anyway, so let's turn off the camera. So Oseros was barreling into a dead end to solve his other deadhead. I mean, theoretically, Ocelot could have been his Lord of Cinder. It's just, at that point, Oseros is so mad, he somehow thinks a baby is going to readily be able to be his Firelinker. Because again, he's so desperate, he's driven himself to mad over it, right? That's the idea. Is that he's so obsessed, he's so paranoid, he's so completely consumed, but he's the consumed king. He's so completely consumed by this idea of, you know, bewitched by this idea that Seath and the scholars' heresy and all that is all the answers. You know, dragons, they just had to be dragons! Which again makes sense because, you know, culturally with the archdragons and them turning knights into some of their wyvern steeds and all that. So, like you can understand some of the cultural background, but obviously the point is that Oseros just kind of goes off the deep end. And he just ends up, like you said, it's a dead end. Like, we see that when he smashes little baby, invisible baby Ocelot, because baby Ocelot, for whatever reason, won't show himself to Oseros. He just stays invisible baby. Which, honestly, if I had Oseros as my dad, I might want to stay hidden, too. I think maybe Ocelot has a good idea there. It's like, hey, you're not a good dad. I know what you did to my brothers. I may be a baby, but I'm not that dumb. All right, let's see if we, if like you guys said, it's gonna activate. Oh, read up a bit, starting with the Seath and Oseros thing. Ocelot. Seath, by his own silent mission, is a botched as hell dragon. Seath lacks scales, and he also hard messed up ribs. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Seath is still a powerful dragon. He's just not, like, you know, he doesn't have the scales or anything. So that's the thing. But he's still, like, a powerful moonlight dragon, so it's like, why not? But I agree, yeah, it's a dead end, right? No, blah, 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 we get you. As much as I love your voice, Lothric. No. Game? Game? Okay, I guess we wait and hope this loads in. There we go, yeah. Where's dear little Ocelot, though? My dear little Ocelot. Lothric gets a 2% buff and Lorien becomes a cripple. Night Scout, that's funny. Tangy Wang, what up, brother? Hey, good to see ya. Glad to have you in here. I wish there was a mod that restored the physical baby and its sound effects. That would be cool, Nobre, I agree. Okay, I don't think this is working, so we're gonna do this again. Yeah, every time. Alright, so where's my process I open? Okay, open process. Dark Souls 3. Alright, so that works with Cheat Engine. Blah, blah, blah. So we want to deal with first phase Lorien. So we want to open... Yeah, most of this is good. We want to open equip spell. No. We don't care about this stuff. We want to go to character flags. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I'm not tabbed in. My bad. Yeah, I know. I'm not closing the game properly. I'm sorry. Okay. Seath does have a lot for health. If Osteros is picking Seath of all dragons, he's already crazy because Seath is a dead end for that by his own admission. Again, the point, of course, is just that Osteros sees the idea that becoming a dragon, a powerful, legendary dragon figure like Seath, you know, founder of all sorcerers and all that. I should say founder of all sorcery. That's the idea. Oh, it's just letting us walk in. Coolio. Actually, since we're here, let's get a shot of, nah, you know what? I'm gonna first do all this shit. Make our character invisible. We want super armor, so he doesn't flinch. We want no stamina consumption, so that way we don't have to worry about any of that. We want no damage. I think everything else is good. Just in case, I'll put invulnerability on. Heck, if Priscilla didn't die from someone killing her, then she's dead end too. Her scales don't work. There we go. All right, let's see. I'm gonna see if Lothric does anything when Lorien's... No, Lorien does his own little sword buff thing, so it's not just Lothric. So what I get from that is that in Phase 2, it's Lothric and Lorien combining their powers. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Because this is like super fast compared to his Phase 2 charge up attack. So it's like, okay, Lorien does his charging with his holy magic. Lothric does his own little additional buff to his brother's charging, and so it becomes this super big attack. Gotcha. That makes sense. And let's get him away from here. Actually, yeah. Can you go? Yeah. Can we, like, move you over here, buddy? Yeah, I want to get a shot of that, but, like, you know, away from you being, you know, by the fog wall. I don't like fog walls on my shots. Understand. Very sorry about that. Nope. That's not it. Oh, just gonna teleport to do it, huh? Just, you know, tell me. Just tell me when. Oh no, it hurts. Oh no, it hurts. Oh. Oh. Come on. Over here. Come on. Just gonna take shots of stuff anyway, because why not? I might want to use it in the future. He is not doing the freaking... There. No, that's not it. I wonder if I have to move away so that we have a bit space between us in order to get him to trigger that attack. Come on. Come on, do your little... No, that's just a slam. Come on. How can I get you to get on your frickin' foot for 1 second? Well, he's not cooperating. Then he does that after taking a bit of damage, like phase 1.5. He did it at the start of the fight, though, didn't he? I'll take a few hits just to be safe. There we go. There, that should be enough hits to get into like around like 60% health at least, so. Yeah, I don't think it affects his AI. I could have swore he did at the start of the fight. Does the symbol on the ground when he teleports matter? No, it's just the generic miracle symbol you see when holy magic and stuff is being done. So yeah, that's not surprising. Again, Lothric and Lorien are sons of Guinevere, so they have a really strong holy affinity to their soul, which basically lets them be able to use holy magic and miracles without using a traditional miracle catalyst, right? They just use their soul as the actual catalyst. You know, kind of use themselves. Ah! Let's see if I got the shot I wanted. I think it's just a really rare attack from him, because we actually got it to work there. I didn't get the very first part when he first starts going, because it's a little late on the upkeep. Okay, I gotta pay attention, chat, sorry. But, like, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, okay, just gotta get it without the... Come on. Come on, do it again. He's lighting me on fire, chat. I'm gonna have so many screenshots. Oh. I have so many screenshots of Lorien and Lothric. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, teleport the other direction. No, you basshole! Of course you do it right when the fog wall's right there. You hate me. I swear, the desire sensor is absolutely infuriating. Go on, warp over here, you piece of shit. The things I do for this website. Yes, we get it. Oh. Nope. Darn, and here for a second I thought that was going to be the right attack. Okay, come on. Lorien, get over here. There we go. Are you done? Yeah, it's just a super rare attack of his. For whatever reason. I don't know what... I want to force it, but I don't know what exactly in his AI would force that attack specifically. It just feels like he just kind of does it when he wants to, which is like 2% of the time. Fun. Nope, that's the AoE. Come on. Come on. Do it, you. Do it, you coward! Watch, as soon as I look over at chat, he's gonna do it. Ah! Alright. I tried my best, chat. While he deals with me, let's take more shots of his bro. Where is the free cam? There we go. Hey, buddy. Yeah, bro's just hitting nothing. He's having target practice with the chairs. Yeah, I'd be a little down too, buddy. Let's take the Miyazaki shot. Why not? God, those are some low-quality feet. I don't think Miyazaki approved of this. He would never allow the feet to have that few polygons. There you go. Okay. I'm done with this. Getting out of here. I'm done. Who do you consider to be the true final boss of DS2? Aldi or Ivory King? That type of stuff doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. Like, I get, like, for some people, like, the final boss is, like, the final DLC boss, right? Like, the hardest boss there. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I find that stuff that doesn't interest me, as far as games are concerned. I care about story, narrative, fun gameplay to varying extents, like that type of sort of thing. Do Firekeepers learn about Lordran? If so, would explain why ours knows about it. In my opinion, it's probably like a class. Imagine like, Miss Anastasia, please stop talking. We need to learn about our Lord Gwyn. Yeah, they know about Lordran. Of course they do, because they learn about the gods and things. Like, you have to imagine the general curriculum on miracles and holy texts and scripture and all that. It's about explaining, like, okay, who the gods are, what the context for the history. You know, like standard theology. Like, I don't know, if you went to a Christian seminary or something. Here's the historical context. Here's the traditions of the church or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Do you attribute Lothric and Ocelot's poor health? I wouldn't say Ocelot has poor health. To Oceros and/or the terrible state of the universe in general, or would even Guinevere be worn down and torn? Ocelot doesn't seem to have poor health. He seems, in fact, incredibly powerful. He's just a baby. Like, he's just a baby. In terms of Lothric, I think Disparity just dealt him a bad hand, right? It did it. It pulled a Seath. Hey, Seath, I know you've been come from, like, a long line of dragons with stone scales or whatever, right? But you know what? Disparity said, what if Moonlight? And then you're born scaleless because of it. Like, that seems to be Seath's unfortunate problem. Anyway, with how Gwyndolin, old, sickly, and eaten as he is, still resembles himself, I get the impression that Guinevere would hold up well, especially if she had Lorien. Yeah. Guinevere's doing fine. Like, as far as, like Guinevere has no problems. Like, the problem with Gwyndolin is he isn't really sickly. He's weak and feeble, but, like, that seems to be accounted, again, to his relation to, like, moon, to his moon affinity and stuff like that. He doesn't have that, robust sunlight, power of his siblings that make them, you know, glow or whatever. And there might also just be, you know, like, just generally, you know, diversity of, like, you know, I don't know, soul genetics or however you put it, right? Like, our purpose, like, you could come from a long line of, like, strong men. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to end up being a strong man yourself. So, whatever the case, yeah. Well, I guess Ocelot's unusual model, that kind of all messed up. Again, I think that's the point, is that, because Ocelot comes from, like, you know, he's a baby, he's a dragon, and he's literally been held by Dad for who knows how long without any, like, I don't think Daddy Dragon is, like, going out and being like, hello, little Ocelot, let me make sure you're properly bathed and clothed, and your shit is, you know, your diapers, your egg diaper is getting changed, and, like, you're eating and all this stuff, and whatever. Again, my impression from Dark Souls 3 between Shira, Yorshka, and Ocelot is that dragons don't need to eat, which again makes sense, because it seems to be the same case with undead and stuff. It seems like immortal characters don't need sustenance per se. I guess they'll just quote unquote live off their soul power for as long as that would last. But you know, it wouldn't hurt. I think everyone likes a good munchie every now and then. Might help. Well, Gwyndolin is probably poisoned by Celavon. I mean, Gwyndolin compared to Dark Souls 1. Yeah, the thing with Gwyndolin is, like, yeah, it's probably foul play, like you said. There was probably, like, something going on there. Though we don't know the specifics. And, unfortunately, we don't know how much of, like, Gwyndolin's model that we see is because of Aldrich, you know, eating him. Because, like, his clothes and stuff, his clothes seem to be black because the idea was that Aldrich, you know, he's being absorbed by giant, you know, flesh abomination, so all his clothes get corrupted into that black color. And then normally it would probably be like a white color similar to Gwyndolin in Dark Souls 1, right? So yeah, it's kind of hard. Anyway, unused Ocelot isn't just dirty, he looks very troubled. Food might not matter some dragons, though, as you theorize, some still eat, like in Dark Souls 3, why they're... Yeah, well, the thing with, like, say, in Dark Souls 1, for example, we have, Yeah, we have, like, for example, in Dark Souls 3, like you mentioned, Ancient Wyvern. Ancient Wyvern might be slightly different because it's not an Archdragon, per se, but, like, it's not like our direct Archdragon lineage per se, what I mean there, but, like, like you said, the idea is like, hey, yeah, it can eat, and, you know, it's tasty. And then, of course, in Dark Souls 1, we see stuff like Gaping Dragon, where dragons can potentially become consumed by appetite, and that can end up, you know, completely, much like we see with other species, you know, when they become consumed by a certain emotion or a certain environmental feature or something like that, that could completely warp their form. So, anyway, I got all the stuff I think I wanted. We checked out the giant tree thing, we got the Solaire shots, we spent a lot of time on Lothric, and overall, I think it was pretty effective. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna take me a while probably to work on that Twin Princes update, because I got so much other stuff on my plate right now, so I'm like, oh, when am I gonna fit that into the schedule? But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with all that. Thanks for coming in, guys. Great chatting with you. We're doing it like always. Wait, can I? Okay, good. We still have functional bonfires, so that won't cause us a problem next time. So all that is going to be, fun. So, until next time, guys, bye-bye.